Hello YouTube, my name is Cheyenne Traven, and this is my story. I am a sexual molestation. I'm a sexual assault survivor, I guess you could say it that way. I survived through sexual assault. I don't wish it upon anybody. It sucks and it's hard to deal with. So when I got sexually molested, I was between the ages of 10 to 16. 6 years, about 6 years, I got molested by someone in my family. We did everything for him, we helped him, we did everything for him. It was my cousin. I got sexually molested by my cousin. So how I got sexually molested by my cousin is when I was a kid, because I'm 17 now, almost 18. When I was a kid, I used to go to my grandma's house almost every morning at like 5 a.m. in the morning when my mom and dad went to work. And I would be sleeping on a couch like this in the living room because I was so tired. I didn't wake up till 10 to go to school. So he thought it was okay to molest me. My grandma was not in the room. My grandpa was not in the room. Nobody was in the living room but me and a dog. That was the only person that was in the room, was me and the dog. So I guess in his mind, he thought it was right to sexually molest me when I was asleep in my grandma's house. That lasted about 6 years. I didn't tell nobody really anything. I just told my mom I don't want to go to my grandma's. I'm scared. I don't want to go to my grandma's. I am scared. I didn't tell her why. I didn't tell her anything else, but I was scared. And she didn't understand, which I understand because I didn't tell her what was going on. Because I was scared of like how someone would react. And my mom is very wonderful. I love my mom to death. She is an amazing mother. Actually, I met my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. We hung out, we talked. He could tell something was deep down inside was wrong with me. Because I was more like to myself when I first met him. And I was more to myself no matter what, because I didn't want to tell nobody. I didn't want nobody to know. I was like, it'll go away, it'll go away, it'll go away. And then one night he was like, so what about you, blah, blah, blah. We were talking about myself, and I was like, yeah. And the conversation came up. So we talked. He was there to help me through it all. I loved him for that. And then we went to this place called the Branding Iron. My sister worked at it in San Bernardino, California. And on the way there, we were having a conversation, and it was something, I don't know what the conversation was about, but my boyfriend brought up that's like not the only person you should hate or something like that. And my sister was driving, and she looked in her rearview mirror, looked straight in my eyes in the back seat, and turned her head around and was like, wait, what did I just hear? And in that moment, everything hit the brakes. Everything hit the brakes. Like, my sister pulled in the parking lot and was talking to me, and my sister's been through this. She knows this struggle. She knows this. So me and my sister have been through this. My sister, a different person, but my mom's been through it twice, a sexual assault case. And so me and my sister weren't super close. Like, we were just close enough to be sisters. We weren't like attached. And then after this all went through, she became like my rock, and my mom and dad became more like not a parent, but like they understood the struggles. Like, they understood what was happening. They understood, they got help, they got me the help I needed. And some people don't have that, which I was very grateful for, a great mom and a great dad to get the help I needed. So that hit the wall. of me telling my sister was like, okay, you'll come with me, because I was deathly afraid to go home. Because they knew where I lived. My family knew where I lived. My cousin knew where I lived. So I was scared of going home. They didn't know where my sister lived, but they knew where I lived. So I got scared of going home. I didn't want to go home. And this is when like my body started shutting down. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to talk to friends. I didn't even want to see my own family. I didn't want to be alive. Like I was like in a horrible, horrible state of like depression and like anger and like sadness and stuff. Like, why did this happen to me? Why? And I couldn't stop asking myself why. And so I went to my sister's house, and then like a couple days went by. We went to the police station. I remember being in that police station. I've never been in a police station. I never wish to be in a police station, but I had to do it. And I felt bad because it was my family, but no, that's not happening. If you sexually assault me, I'm telling the cops, no matter what you are, who you are, what you do, I am telling the cops. Nothing can stop me from telling the cops. I will tell them. I'm not afraid to express my feelings. I'm not afraid to do any of that. So we went to the cops, and I sat in a room. I called him on my phone, and the cops were with me, and he admitted that he did it to me. And that was the hardest thing to hear over a phone, that he did it to me, and he regretted it, and he thought I liked it, and this and that, and I never wanted to hear that stuff ever in my life as a kid. It was very hard. And so the cops wrote up a warrant and went to his house, my grandma's house, which is his house, and arrested him. The moment the cops showed up, my mom's phone started ringing off the hook with my grandma. Call after 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 call for a whole week. Like calls and calls and calls and calls and calls and calls, probably 1,000 calls in a week. And then his dad started calling my mom and dad. Everyone started calling my mom and dad. That's when shit hit the fan. And my grandma, I never talked to her or did anything with that person ever again. I still don't talk to her. I mutually talk to her. She's not like a grandma no more. Yeah, she'll be grandma by my blood, but she's not my grandma. I don't consider her my grandma because 2 reasons. It was in her house. She was out back almost all the time when it would happen. Playing in her backyard. I don't know what she was doing. Watering her plants. And 2, she wanted to shove it under the rug like nothing happened. Sorry, that don't count with me. If something happens, I'm going straight to the cops. We don't just shove stuff like sexual molestation and that stuff. Sexual assault, molestation, and that stuff under the rug. Doesn't cut it with me. Then we scheduled a court hearing. Saw him in jail, in his jail uniform. He was in PC, which is protective custody, because people who rape kids or family or any of that get very screwed up in jail. And so we did the court hearing. I had the first day of court. That was the most stressful thing I've done, I think. So that was hard for me. And then it started getting easier and easier as I started going to court, because I was very scared of court systems. I don't know what they were or why at the time. So we started going to the court hearings, and then we were talking to my my person that was on my side, like my district attorney that was on my side. They were arguing back and forth with his district attorney. in the first couple months of court, they did not want him to register as a sex offender. They did not want him to serve time in jail or prison. They didn't want him. They wanted to let him walk free, like nothing happened. It's a slap on the wrist. We fought back. So in this whole court case, I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to be around any other boys or men or anybody. I secluded myself from everybody and anybody. I might have went to school once in a month out of 6 months to a year of school. I almost missed. But I only went to school once in a couple months. I had a job. I lost my job. My boss didn't like how I couldn't go to work. I had to work with other boys and other men, and I couldn't work with them. It gave me so much anxiety to where I would break down if I went to work. I tried and I broke down immediately and had to leave. I couldn't do it. My body was like, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. So I skipped. I missed 6 months of work, 6 months of pay. I didn't get paid for it. I didn't get vacation. I didn't get none of that. And remind you, I'm 16 and I have a job, almost a full-time job. I need that money. I was working for an income, to have money, to buy stuff, to live on, to do stuff with, all the fun stuff everybody else is doing, I was trying to do. I had to miss it. My boss didn't like it. I got fired, or laid off, because they needed someone else, and I understand that, but I was having my district attorney pulled me out of work for 2 years almost. Well, a year. Almost 2 years. A year and 2 months. I didn't go to work. Total. With everything happening. And remind you, I am only 16. At the time when this was all hell broke loose, I should say. And so you kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with the district attorney. Eventually, after 8 months of court, I think it was 8 months of court, we got a sexual molestation thing that he has to register as. We got restitution, which I will never see. I got $2,000 restitution, but we will never ever see that. He has to wear an ankle brace for 3 years, which is now 2 years because it's a year already since this happened. So that's 3 things. And he never served time in jail except for the time they took him to the time he got out. That's the only time he served, which was maybe 6 months he served in jail. During the court cases, I was allowed to have a dog with me. We didn't know till almost the end. So I could have had a dog buddy with me to help me through court. I read my story. My mom read her story. It was so hard reading that story. I don't even know where that story went, but it was horrific. I had to stand in front of the judge and explain every little single thing that went down. Reliving that moment still kills me. Reliving that moment. It is horrific. The stuff he did to me. My mom helped that kid do everything. My cousin was my mom's second child. Since he didn't have a mom, my mom acted like another mother figure besides my grandma. So it was like having another child, but not really like your child. So my mom got really, really, really hurt when he betrayed my mom. And they've talked a lot, they used to be close, everything. And so, he got that, and then now, I had the help. I had counseling. Counseling has helped me. I found counseling, just because I was in a depressed state, and I didn't want to talk to nobody, and my mom was like, can you at least try counseling? And the DA recommended it because I was so bad. She could tell I was not happy and I was not myself and stuff. And in between all of this, I was an all-star cheer. So the outlook of this whole not being happy and depressed and stuff, the only thing that gave me happiness was going to cheer every night at practice and being in that gym and getting my mind off of stuff. That was the only time I was genuinely happy. And so I continued to do cheer, and then I'm still a cheerleader, so I continued that and continued that. I wanted to quit after going to the court thing because it was just so hard, but that was the only thing at the time that made me genuinely happy, and my mom knew it made me genuinely happy with all the stress I was going through. And so it was a long road to recovery. I stayed at my sister's house for almost 7 months to a year. Missed school, didn't go to work, didn't have a job. I was an emotional ball of stupid, we call it in her household. I was crying, I was like not happy, I was like just like everything. And then once court ended, my life started getting back on track. I saw my boyfriend. My boyfriend was there mentally through the court I went through and everything else. And fast forward to a year, I am doing so much better. It's a story now, and I still have nights where I'm like afraid to sleep, which will always happen, I think. I still have nights from when I'm afraid to sleep. When I meet certain people, I'll like not like them. Like I'll be like, sorry, I can't be friends with you. Just something about you. I'm sorry, I can't. And I'll tell them up to their face, I don't care. And then just recently, I moved out of California. I have a 9-year restraining order, 10-year restraining order on my cousin. Not allowed to see him. He's not allowed to come near me. So if he does, he's going back to jail, which is nice because I don't want to see him. I don't want to be near him. I haven't talked to my family really, except for the one time my uncle was in jail. It was in the hospital. That was the only time I saw my grandma. Haven't seen her, haven't talked to her since that one time in like November, December. That was the only time. And I still don't like her. She still was like, why didn't we just push it under the rug? She told my mom, you did the wrong thing. We could have pushed it under the rug. No. My mom was like, no. So it's your opinion, whatever. I don't care. I did what I had to do. My mom's been through this twice, so she knows what to do. Like, she's had two daughters now go through this, and it's a horriblest thing that a mother could go through. She told me, she was like, it's the horriblest thing to see your daughter go through this. Your sister was younger, so it wasn't as like mentally hard for her because she was only like 5 or 6, but it was still mentally hard, but it wasn't like hard. But this was harder on my mom. We went to counseling, we did everything. It was amazing. We had the best people on our side to help. Although he didn't get what we wanted, which was like 12 years in jail or something like that they were giving. I don't even know, 3 years in jail, 3 years in prison, who knows? I don't know. He didn't get that. His life is over though, which is sad to say, but that's his life. He chose it. He knew the consequences. My mom's told him the consequences way before she even knew what happened to me. Because he was dating a 17-year-old. He was 18. He was dating a 17-year-old at the time this stuff started coming out, like the court stuff. It was all over the news. Oh my God, everybody was like, text me, your cousin's in jail, your cousin's in jail. And I was like, yep. And at the time, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything about it because I was scared. I was scared and not happy. Like, I was like shut off. I was like depressed and stuff. And then, so recently we just moved here. We moved from CA to Pennsylvania, California to Pennsylvania. That's a long move. My mom's work relocated in January, and I'm living it out. I love it out here. I moved May 14th, which was Wednesday. I got here at 6 a.m. It's been so wonderful. It like rains and then stops and then sunny and then rains one day, sunny the next, which I like that. But it's like depression weather. It's bipolar. But after a year and 9 months, my boyfriend went through with me. We finally ended it because I live so far away now, 2,700 miles. He broke up with me. He wanted to be friends, and he's starting college soon because he's 18. He just turned 18 like in December. And we were like dating, but we were like not dating. We were online dating more than anything because it's illegal to date a 17-year-old. But we were dating before he was 18. And so he's been through there with me all. And we ended our relationship on a year and 9 months. Actually, like last week sometime. Today's like the 28th or 29th of May. It was like last week sometime. So we ended that, and I was thankful that we ended on good terms. We're friends. We communicate still. If he ever needs anything, I'm here. If I ever need anything, I bet you he's there for me. Knowing my stuff that I've been through, he was like my rock kind of in this situation too, and he helped me through everything. I did everything for him, but he was an amazing, nice person. I loved him to death. It was sad to see our relationship end, but I know it's for the best. And maybe one day in the future we'll see each other again. Who knows? Never know. But that's good that we ended off on good terms, not bad terms, because that's horrible to end. But I'm starting school again out here because I am now 2 years behind in school. I'm in 10th grade. I'm supposed to be in 12th. Because of all this court drama and stuff, I missed a whole bunch of school and a bunch of stuff. And so now I'm getting back on track, graduating hopefully in a year and a half if I can do like 17 courses a year. Almost all my courses today. I have 60 credits and I need like 200 something more. So I'm getting close, I'm getting on track, I'm doing what I need to do. And then after high school, I'm either going to college for beauty school or going to a beauty school. I don't know which one yet. We will decide when that time comes. Right now, just to get past high school and graduate high school is all I'm trying to do. Trying to make myself happy, trying to graduate high school like I want to. I want to become a graduate, not a GED. No problems with GEDs or anything, but I want to graduate. I want to succeed in life. There's a lot of things I want to do in life. And so I'm ready to take up, do stuff I want to do in life and not like what other people want to do or anything. So yeah, so I dealt with court and everything, and it's been emotional. Even still to this day, I get depressed and stuff, and I just tell myself it's okay. It's okay. And what helps the most is talking about it. Once you have done it and have had it done or anything, just talking about your story will help you a lot. I'm here just to save another person and help another person out. I don't care what you haters have to say, because I know there'll be hate and judgment and this and that on this video. I already know what I'm gonna get, hate and judgment. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with hate in the same way as it wasn't my fault. I did nothing wrong. I was asleep. I slept. What am I supposed to do? I was tired. I was sleeping all the time, okay? But as long as I help 1 or 3 people out, that's all I care about. There is help. You can find numbers online to sexual abuse hotlines. You can find information online, numbers. You can go to a counselor, which I did, which helped me a lot. What else helped me? Listening to music that you like helped keep me calm and focused and everything else, which was really thankful. I listened to music all the time through the court. Like after court, I would blast my music because I didn't want nothing to do with anybody. Yeah, so that was my story, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will be making more videos here shortly. Yeah, so tell me what you would like to see next, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.